Hello, and welcome to Last Time On. This is the podcast where we pick a show none of us have ever watched, skip some episodes, figure out what happened last time on. We're not doing that today. Victor is still moving, so it's Ben and I once again. But we did find a thing to watch that we were able to make happen. We found an episode of 30 Rock with Paul Giamatti. He's in it for about 5 minutes. But that's 30 Rock. And thought it'd be fun to just do this instead. I did check a little bit. I didn't dig deep because I didn't want to see numbers of episodes and stuff. But I did try to see if any of the cast of Billions were in Entourage, and I couldn't see that. We should be back to regularly scheduled programming for the foreseeable future. Victor is moved in as of today and is currently unpacking. So shouldn't be a problem going forward. Hopefully is unpacking. Dear God. When you're listening to this on Tuesday, Victor, please be unpacking. But yeah, so we're watching 30 Rock Season 5, Episode 2, When It Rains, It Pours Today. Have you seen 30 Rock, Ben?
I have seen 30 Rock. I absolutely love 30 Rock.
30 Rock is so good. There's in that time frame, that was the golden age of the modern golden age of sitcoms, I guess, because there was a previous golden age of sitcoms, and then there was the 90s where you had Seinfeld and Friends and stuff. But there was a generation of sitcoms where we had this. Scrubs was around the same time. How I Met Your Mother was around the same time. New Girl was around the same time.
Yes.
And of those shows, I know How I Met Your Mother has not aged well. I think you've gone back and tried to watch Scrubs and has said it did not age well.
Some bits didn't age well, but I will say Scrubs is the show that I have seen the most.
Yeah.
Back in college, I had the first 5 seasons, and myself and all of my roommates were watching through them. Yeah. And so if, I was in the middle of season 4, but my roommate was in the middle of season 2 and he put it on, I just sat down and watched it. So I've seen Scrubs all the way through several times.
I'm not upset.
Ted, we found you in the park throwing rocks at old couples.
Why should they be happy?
But there's a few bits that don't age super well.
It's not too bad. How I Met Your Mother's rough.
Yeah.
By today's standards. This show, I have not gone back and watched in about probably 7 or 8 years.
Well, I did note in my notes, this is the first Alec Baldwin thing I've seen since he killed somebody.
Yeah, that happened. I will say New Girl has held up excellent.
Good.
I've been casually enjoying a rewatch as Beth is rewatching it right now as her current show. And I haven't seen anything that's made me go, oh God, yet. So very, very happy with New Girl. Still very funny, but this show is hilarious.
Yes. I have always loved Tina Fey's shtick, and the only thing that is concerning is just is Tracy too dumb?
I don't know Tracy Morgan to know if Tracy Jordan is too dumb.
Yeah, it in this episode we'll get to it, but it's he's sub toddler.
There's a minute there, yeah. Man, I think one of the funniest jokes in TV history comes from 30 Rock.
It's entirely possible.
It's Liz and Jenna. It's a flashback of Liz and Jenna at a corporate improv retreat back when they worked at whatever the Second City analog is. I don't remember the name of it. Mm-hmm. And they're pulling suggestions out of a hat, and it's a first date between Sling Blade and Oprah. and Liz goes, I sure do love these fried potatoes, in her best Sling Blade. And Jenna, deadpan, no accent, no anything, says, no you don't, Oprah. It's so good.
Glow and I still occasionally will just out of nowhere just go, "Working on my night cheese."
Yeah, it's such a good.
Such a great
It's so
show.
quotable. Yeah, I was very happy to go back and watch a little bit of it. It makes me want to go back and watch a lot more. For sure. It's just because it's so quick. I feel like I was like, oh, we'll watch a little 22-minute show because time is kind of tight right now, and it'll be a great little thing. You know, be like, oh, I'll do notes for like 45 minutes. How grand is that gonna fucking be? Mm-hmm. In the time it would normally take to watch an episode without notes of TV, I will get my notes done. Please.
And it's so dense.
And it's so dense.
It is the fruitcake of sitcoms.
You fell victim to one of the classic blunders.
100%. Yeah, it is just, you're just chewing. You just never stop chewing on this show. I feel like I missed 2/3 of the jokes in my notes, and I still have like 4 pages of notes.
I sometimes I'm able to like kind of like see the Matrix code, and like when it comes to the C plot of this episode, which we'll get to, it very clearly was just like somebody pitched that in the room, and then for the next 20 minutes, it was people just like telling writer jokes to each other. It's just like, we're just shooting all of those. We're just using every single bit of it.
Is Alec Baldwin the C plot?
Yes.
Okay. It's hard to say because there's like a D plot and E plot running around this episode.
That's true.
There's a lot going on. We should get into it, though.
Yeah, we start off on the street with a construction worker catcalling the ladies.
Yeah.
And
very convenient jackhammer blurring out most of what he says, but he makes some rather obscene-ish gestures. It's like not directly obscene, but in a way where you know it's obscene and you have no idea what it is exactly. It's perfect. Leaves it all to your imagination. Very funny.
But it is also one of those things where I'm just like, is this just a New York thing? I've never been in the vicinity of a catcall. But I'm also just like, okay, it's typically construction workers in film and stuff. And it's like, if I see a construction worker, they're 100 yards away from me working somewhere. Like, we're not all up in each other's business like you would be in a, compact city like New York.
This had to have been a thing at some point because it is in the cultural zeitgeist. I also, admittedly, not exactly the target audience for catcalling.
No, but I haven't even been there while somebody catcalled somebody else.
Yeah, how much time have you spent at construction
creeps,
sites?
But
that's the thing is it's specifically the construction worker catcall.
Yeah,
because this is a trope, 100%. And I don't know where it comes from. It probably originates in media somewhere. There's probably a show or movie that has it. It's like in Taxi Driver or something. And
yeah, this isn't me saying women never get confronted or
Ben,
unnecessarily.
You total misogynist.
Yes. It's just I've never seen this thing happen, and I don't know.
God, that should be the episode title, just to fuck with search results for your job searches in the future.
Please no.
I won't because I'm a friend. Also, I think you're editing this one. The cat call is Liz comes to Jenna's defense here just because she's blonde and never closes her mouth. And if you look behind, her mouth is half open with her tongue kind of stuck out. It's so funny. And he's like, no, I was catcalling you, Liz Lemon. And she gets very confused as someone who has never been catcalled. But she shoots back at him, and the only words we get are infected penis.
Yeah.
As the jackhammer continues to go, doing the same trope but turned around.
And Jenna reveals our theme for the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you're getting catcalled because you are in a relationship. You feel more confident. And therefore, people are noticing and reciprocating that confidence. Because when it rains, it pours.
Yeah. Yeah. She's currently dating Carol, who is played by Matt Damon, if you had forgotten that. He's not in this episode. We go over to Jack and Avery Jessup, played by Alec Baldwin and Elizabeth Banks, respectively, who announce that they're having a baby boy. Liz comments on how Jack's going to be an old dad and how that was cool. We get a flashback to her raiding her dad's liquor cabinet, taking a bottle out and be like, this bottle's perfect for my rock collection.
Yeah, that is very much the like level of rebellion I remember. Just like, yeah, I'm not going out and getting into trouble. We might, wreck a four-wheeler, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Oh.
but we get Alec Baldwin trying to be like, what? No, 50 is the new 40.
Yeah.
This isn't, I'm not going to be old. Like, this is ridiculous. Stop saying that. Then we also get our bit here where we have the Phantom of 30 Rock running around doing stuff behind everybody because Kenneth the Page is temporarily not with the company anymore.
I think he quit at the end of season 4. I don't remember exactly. That was a story for a minute where he was going to go do something else.
Yes.
But that doesn't stay away and is just doing everything in the background.
I'm gonna wear your skin!
We cut down to the Tracy here, who is waiting for the birth of his daughter, but he is at work.
Yeah.
But he is not leaving his dressing room so that he can be there instead of like just staying with his wife the entire time.
Don't be ridiculous, Xhafer.
Over in the writer's room, Pete is having a problem with an editor. This is Paul Giamatti. We see him throw some Chinese food at him.
Yeah, Scott Adsett's Pete character, he gets a lot of food thrown on him this episode.
He does. I think that's in general that happens to his character.
I also appreciated that Paul Giamatti is rocking his ponytail.
Yeah. He asks Liz to go down there and handle it, but before she can, Jack is in Liz's office laying on the sofa lamenting that he will be 70 when his son graduates prep school. He will never experience the father-son bonding of realizing they were at the same orgy at a castle. There's a fire drill immediately after, where Tracy mumbles and gets separated from Grizz, ending up on a bus. As we see Chris Parnell's Dr. Spaceman is Tracy's wife's doctor as she is about to go into labor.
Yes. Now, this is one of those things. I love Grizzin.com. They are
they're
two
great.
of my favorite characters from 30 Rock. Just they are Tracy's entourage and posse, and they are both just infinitely more capable than he is.
Yeah. Like, how dead is Tracy Jordan without Grizzin.com before he even gets to the show many times, and then many times during the show?
Oh, for sure. But this did remind me of sometimes just following the flow of people out of a place, realizing like, oh man, I was supposed to go the other way to get to the parking garage.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes just moving with the flow, you think, oh man, well, it'll be easier. Everybody must know where they're going. I've learned that lesson the hard way.
We begin our C-plot here. Jack, realizing his age and he will not be around to pass on all of the wisdom that he feels he must to his son, begins recording DVDs so he can help his son after his death or an inevitable descent into insanity.
Yes.
Jack details his life. You know, they come from a family of professional whiskey tasters and goblins.
Yes.
He got
from the County Steve in Ireland.
Yeah. He got the handsome scholarship to Princeton, and went to Harvard, where he was voted most.
Which, with Jack Donaghy, yes.
Yeah. You're So Vain was written by me. It was like, it's so good. Liz goes down.
I love how they
go
take,
ahead.
like, the easy joke is, You're So Vain was written about me.
Yeah.
Like, that is the, like, single level of the joke. And I love that they knocked it into, like, a stand-up double with, was written by me.
The timing on it is so good. Liz goes down to the editing bay, and we finally get some time with Giamatti. His name is Richie. He's a big Islanders fan and a Civil War reenactor he's just a real big fan of states' rights, Ben.
Yee
Indeed.
Yeah, he's
Ugh.
a Civil War reenactor for the South.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you're going to do a reenactment, somebody has to be them.
Yeah.
But it is also the sort of thing where it's just like, I don't know, man. You cool? Like,
I would be like a little apprehensive about it initially. I mean, and we've done some reenactment stuff. We there's some similar circles. There's some overlap.
oh yeah,
with some of
whenever
our
you run
hobbies
into
there.
somebody with some Viking tattoos, you're like, you just think Vikings are interesting, or
Yeah, like, is that actually your heritage, bro? Just asking. Just curious.
do you just think medieval knights look cool, or do you have a Deus Vult tattoo?
Right. Yeah. Are you a windmill tattoo enthusiast over here? Because I'm gonna need to know that. Anyways, she gets him working on the TGS stuff. Tracy ends up on cash cab while trying to get to the hospital.
Man, I loved Cash Cab.
Me too. What a fun show. Did that guy end up being a piece of shit? I have no
don't
idea what
think
happened
so.
to him. I feel like he vanished, but that could be because his gimmicky game show ended or because he was a piece of shit. And I don't know which.
It's hit or miss with game show hosts.
Meredith, you never told me your old grandpa used to be a huge piece of shit.
Hey, if you know, get in the Discord and let
Yeah.
me know. I'd say send me an email, but I'm not going to read it. Richie brings up the TGS edits to Liz here, along with a mixtape of authentic Civil War era music.
Yes. do not listen to it in around your black friends.
Yikes.
This just reminded me of the Key and Peele sketch where the guy is realizing all the country songs he knows are super racist.
Yeah.
I actually did have this problem once where there are two versions of the song Dixie. There's Southern Dixie and Northern Dixie.
Okay.
And Northern Dixie is way down south in the land of traders, rattlesnakes, and alligators walk away. Like, it's about how, hey, we're like coming down to kick your guys' butt.
Yeah.
But if you're just like humming it to yourself, nobody knows you're not singing the bad one.
Yikes, Ben. Just gonna say that collectively.
Yeah, it's something I was thinking about. Like, well, I had, Northern Dixie in my head
Yeah.
because it's about, hey, let's go down and kick Confederate butt.
Yeah. No, you've made your feelings on Sherman quite clear.
Really cool for about 4 years. We don't talk about before or after.
Anyway, Liz learns that Richie has been telling people that they are sleeping together from Pete. Pete refutes Liz when she goes to give him hell, though, saying he'll have to work until 3 a.m. when he should be home, which is a bar that's by his house.
Yes.
That is the best name for a bar.
Where are you going? I'm going home, man.
Yeah. Well, you'd say going to home because it's a name. So you could name the bar To Home, right? So you're going to home. And also you could play a lot of baseball there.
That's true.
On the TVs. Or, if you got enough yard, I guess. Anyways, in the cash cab, Tracy logics his way to answers in the worst possible way.
Yes, just like really convoluted, but
Yeah.
he's doing real well.
Yeah. Jack gives a lot more advice. And Ben, as our internet dad,
Yes.
I thought this might be a good opportunity for you to leave some advice for all of us in the future. So we're recording right now. So I'm going to put you on the spot. I wish I had a drop or a bit for this, but I would love for our internet dad to leave us some advice right now.
All right. Best, just general piece of advice I can give you. As you're going through life, it is really, really important you remember, one, you have to find the line between asking people about themselves and prying. Because if you're able to just meet people, appear genuinely interested, and not like, hey, I'm trying to get something out of you, people enjoy talking about themselves. They don't enjoy being interrogated.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you are showing interest in other people. Make sure you follow a thread to a natural, easy conclusion. Ask, 2 follow-up questions. You don't say like, oh, okay, what is your favorite movie? Oh, what else have you seen by that director? Oh, once you start drilling any further than that, it starts to feel like, hey, am I doing a self-defense thing here? Like, am I defending my point of view, defending my thesis? You just give 2 follow-up questions. People will be happy.
Yeah. Solid advice, Ben. My dad had one always that he said a ton when I was growing up, and that was the trick to carrying on is not to get carried away.
I that reminds me of don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out. That's what it is. Where it's just like, hey, like, still got to think critically sometimes.
Yeah, don't Joe Rogan yourself.
Yes.
All right. Kenneth gets sent away as Liz gets slut-shamed. I don't know if everyone knows she's had a boyfriend. This felt weird.
Yeah.
This did feel a little out of place, which is why I brought stuff up earlier in the show to talk about sitcoms not aging well. But I will say they've got Brian and Andrea from NBC News.
Yes, that was so funny.
This was hilarious. Witnesses report seeing KISSING. This is so good.
But it's also just I've also never been in a situation where a rumor has flown that fast while also being interrogated by nobody.
Yeah.
Where, like, rumors do fly fast, in schools and workplaces, but nobody's just like, we sure? Are we sure Richie is hooking up with Liz Lemon? Like,
We sure about that?
Liz Lemon, famously awkward person.
I mean, I've had some rumors about me, especially in the LARP circles when everyone's at the big event,
Oh, yeah.
go crazy before. I was once paid very high compliment by our friend, Mr. Eric Scott Baker, and was recounting that to someone in camp, and I was a bit drunk, and I described the compliment as verbally filleting me. And about 7 people over the next 4 days came up to me to ask about the blowjob I had gotten from him. Like they had missed the actual point of it entirely, and it had just spread like wildfire.
And nobody was just like, I don't know that Xhafer would have been into that.
No one questioned it happening. They were just all like, I was surprised, but I mean, go. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. We need to really roll back here. That was a weird week. Anyways, Liz is done with this bullshit, and she goes down and yells at Richie. He reveals that this wasn't an attempt to try and hurt Liz or to try and involve her at all, but rather he asked if he's familiar with When It Rains, It Pours. He's trying to make himself more attractive by being taken, since he hasn't met any girls at those Islanders fan camps or Civil War reenactments. My notes, all caps. Wrong LARP, bro. Trust me.
Yeah. Glow at this point was watching this with us and just goes, oh, this guy has Big Ben energy. And I'm like, what? I've never gone to like a reenactment or an event to try and meet people. I don't like meeting people.
Can confirm. Anyways, he reveals that he has a crush on Donna and screams out her name from the other room a number of times.
Yes. While she's in the background eating a sub sandwich from the middle.
Right? Oh my god, I caught that. What the hell? She's eating it the short way, right?
Yeah.
That would be
Yep.
if eating it the long way is how, because eating corn the long way is the joke, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that would be eating the sub the short way.
Yes.
And I
But it's
wonder how
just-
many times that's happened in the background of that show that I've never noticed.
It is one of those things where I'm just like, oh man, this is like an almost Zucker brother level of just jokes hidden behind jokes.
Yeah.
Because, like, you've got Paul Giamatti overacting the hell out of this scene.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need to have background jokes.
But they did.
Yeah, but they did.
Tracy's wife manages to get a hold of Kenneth while Tracy keeps getting questions right on Cash Cab. Jack keeps giving weird pieces of advice, general knowledge, or opinions. We cut
Including punching one of the writers.
punching one of the right, yeah. Kenneth is next seen at Tracy's wife's side wearing a Tracy mask and a jacket the same color as Tracy's shirt,
Yes.
trying to save his marriage while Liz dramatically gets broken up with by Richie in front of Donna.
And I loved the subtlety of Paul Giamatti mouthing
Oh yeah.
Liz's lines back to her, where it's just like, it is great watching these like two very good professional, actors pretending to be terrible actors,
Yeah.
where it
Someone
is
else who loves unicorns and has a pinball machine.
what is it? I am sad I'm going to miss out on that waterbed that you are saving up for. Where it's like, this guy's an editor for NBC. Like, he should be making enough money to buy a waterbed.
There's a lot of jokes that everyone who isn't Tracy or Jenna makes peanuts
Yes.
in this show. And I'm sure that is very much on purpose.
I know parts of this are inspired by SNL, like
Yeah.
their actual experiences. And that is one thing I've heard where it's like people have been hired because they were a writing team, which means they only get paid like one writer's worth of salary for the two of them. And so it's their way of like getting two for the price of one. Yeah.
Multiplicity is the superpower I would most want out of any
More
of them.
you?
Yeah, because you're a freaking workaholic. Oh, I wish I could do more work. Maybe if there were more of me, I could do more work. Oh, I would love that. Ryan, get the fuck out of here. I love capitalism.
What the fuck? You take that back.
Yeah. Tracy arrives and kind of like pushes Kenneth away and is there and just takes over. It's a really great moment as Kenneth like slides away on the floor to be unnoticed.
Mm-hmm.
Jack's last piece of advice is if something is in a situation that is not described and he needs advice, to find Liz Lemon and whatever she suggests, do the opposite.
Yes.
Kenneth rejoins the Page program and Jack visits Tracy, where he learns he's actually having a baby girl to credits.
Did you not see the post-credits scene?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's right shortly after the credits start. It cuts back to Jack doing another video, and it's, all right, seeing as you will be a girl, I have somebody here to mentor you, and it's Liz. And she just gives some of the worst advice. Hey, everybody, boy or girl, has a certain amount of hair on their face. That's okay. Every so often, I like to get a nice straight razor shave. And it's just like, we went from like truth to, you don't need to do that, Liz Lemon.
Will actively make it worse.
If you're late on doing your laundry, swimsuits can be worn as underwear. It's just like,
Oh no. Does 30 Rock, is there always after credit scenes?
not always.
Is often?
I think so.
Oh man, I think I've missed that entirely. Oh, okay. Well,
I know
now
it's
I
not
really got to
uncommon.
rewatch 30 Rock. Okay. I learned a thing.
I love this show, though, man.
It's so funny. It's so funny on so many levels, and I feel like most of the time, I feel like watching something for notes takes away from the overall experience of watching it. I did not feel that watching this show.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we got through this in like 20 minutes makes me wonder if maybe this is the real podcast gold here.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But it did make me like, man, I haven't watched through a sitcom in a while, and it's making me...
Got the itch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be back next week with Billions, fucking hopefully.
Yeah. I need to know what the flaw in the Death Star is.
Yeah, I haven't watched the episode yet. I'm going to be on a work retreat this next week. And I think I'm going to end up watching the episode on the work retreat.
Do you at least have your own hotel room?
I do have I've got my own room.
All
yeah.
right.
They rented 2 hotels for most of the week, and everyone who works for my company in North America will be in attendance.
Oh.
Just about. I mean, there's a handful of people who won't be for a number of reasons. It's not like it's not super mandatory. Like if you had vacation planned or you've got shit going on, like whatever. But almost everyone who works for the company will be there. So it'll be nice to meet a handful of people who work in the other offices. It will not be nice to be in Chicago, especially because I'm not going to have time for anything.
Right.
I have approximately, I think 45 minutes of free time on the day I arrive. And that's because I'm driving and not flying in.
Okay.
It's just I have no time
scheduled.
for anything. It's all literally every moment of every day is scheduled from breakfast through to 11 p.m. every night. And the late night stuff is we rented out this bar and all of the drinks are on the company kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But still, that ain't me, man. I'll go say hi, have a gin and tonic, and then I'm going to leave. So, I don't know. We'll see. I have a couple of people that I'm mostly friends with that happen to be coworkers at this point. So, I might end up hanging out with them a bunch.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. Regardless, I feel like that's an appropriate venue to spend that 45 minutes of free time I have, because Lord knows it's going to take longer than that to get anywhere in Chicago.
Yeah.
I'd love
Chicago
to go
is hard to
flick
get
the
around.
bean or something, but unless it happens to be very, very close to me, I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity.
Fair.
So.
All right. Well, you have fun in Chicago.
I will.
Vic, hopefully
Not.
you are done unpacking, or at least done unpacking enough that you can record with us next week.
Yeah. Consider this your countdown timer. I get back from Chicago on Friday. So.
Yeah. And all that we have left now is some thank yous.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ripe. Thank you for the use of your song Goon Squad as our theme song. And just if you get the chance, they are touring right now. Go out and see them.
Hell yeah, go see it. It is a great fucking show. I can personally attest to that. You want to jump on the Discord? You can jump on the Discord. Hang
great.
out. The Discord's a great place to be. There's conversations going all the time these days, it feels like. Really enjoy the Discord and our community there. Go ahead and join up. We also have a phone number thing to call, but Vic's the only one with the number, and I don't fucking remember.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
That is it. So we will see you next time on Last Time On.